We are literally living in such uncertain times. And I feel like even saying that doesn't sound right, because not that it doesn't sound right, but I feel like every generation has probably said we are living in such uncertain times. Those people who live through plagues or continuous wars, it's always uncertain times. Like 2020 was uncertain times. So I guess every time is uncertain, really. Life in itself is uncertain. So let me start again. We are living in such a major shift right now, that it feels very unsettling, and it's questioning. I mean, for most of us who have just lived our lives in a way of like, you get up, you go to school, you go to work, you get married, all these things, the rules that have been set for us, there are definitely a lot more people questioning them. There are definitely a lot more people not following by those rules. And I know that every generation has people who don't do that, right? But I definitely feel now that there are so many major shifts, and because we have screens with us all the time where we get to see and hear what's happening around the world, we are more attuned to what's happening. So to the point when you leave your screen, you're constantly just in that alertedness or shaky sense of self. I don't know if everyone's feeling this way, because some people might just be, keep their head down, go with the flow of things, go to their job, their 9 to 5, go home, and repeat, rinse and repeat, without questioning, without thinking about how life is affecting other people, how their decisions are affecting other people, without reflecting upon themselves, and who they are in this world. Because we all, even if we're only like a little dot in the universe, we're a ripple. We all cause a ripple, whether it's just within our immediate vicinity or the people further around us. Like, everything we do has a cause and effect on someone else. So anyways, I say this because I'm really talking about AI. Okay, that's one of the things. There are many things that I'm thinking of, but one of the things I'm thinking about is AI, and how much they say that, oh no, there's a rubbish van over there, and I was trying to record to then leave, and I moved away from somewhere else where there was a van. So I hope this van doesn't take up so much space. Sorry guys, so unrelated. Anyways, so AI it feels like it's sucking the joy of being human. It's like an exodus. Obviously that is an exaggeration, but yes, it is, because it's having a terrible effect in our environment, as we all know. And yes, I can sit here as if I'm in a like all high and mighty, oh, I absolutely use it. I use it as much as, I use my social media as much as I use Google, because it's been shoved down my throat, and I see how it is useful, and I see how it could be mostly useful in places of need, like in healthcare. But then you think about it and you think, how selfish of me to even say that, because what's the effect of it's having on other people who don't have access to it but are having a reverse effect of it? Not reverse effect, what am I talking about? Guys, I'm literally thinking as I'm speaking, and sometimes nonsense might come out, but I'm trying to make sense of this new reality that we're in. But it's like, I'm living here and I'm using AI, and so are so many other people, like ChatGPT, for example. And then there's obviously other major tools that people are using that people don't even know exist at this point. And what's that having an effect on another person in a part of the world that's probably not using AI? I saw a video this morning of what's it like to live 40 yards from Mark Zuckerberg's data center, and the water quality, it runs really low. It's, it's bad, right? And this effect, and it's bad. The state of the world in general has always been like this. This is nothing new, to be fair, but we are adding to it. But like, why do we need AI to recreate videos, to recreate art, to recreate writing, things that we can do. We're taking away our autonomy of our creativity. Again, snipping at our intuition, snipping at our creativity. That is the core of what keeps us human. If anyone has watched the movie Soul, I don't know if I spoke about this already, that movie talks about those who are in their creativity, in their creative realm, in their creative flow, are so aligned spiritually that their soul is like connected to something greater. And you feel that when you're doing something creative. And when we're snipping away at that and allowing a machine to do the thinking for us, we're not even allowing our brain to do the connection it needs to do to come up with ideas. We're not allowing our brain to work. We're giving away our power, and then we will become powerless, and then we won't even think for ourselves. We just let the machine think. I mean, there's one sense where you can use it to, brainstorm, to use it to be an extension of the thoughts that you haven't thought about and things like that. But to let it do everything for you, I don't know. That's just, is it necessary? Is it necessary? It really isn't. And it's really made me think, like, no, now is definitely the time. If there's ever a time that I need to look inward spiritually to myself and grow myself whilst also connecting with other people who are on that same plane, now is the time. Now is the time to snap out of the screens. I say that whilst I'm holding my phone. Snap out of the screens and be in the world. Go out for a walk, speak to your friends how we used to many years ago, right? Live lived experiences, travel, eat food, meet people, because otherwise we're going to be stuck in this realm where I can already imagine, like, where you're just using I'm literally imagining. So recently, cutting but going into the same thing, recently I used a VR, I forgot the name of it, the PlayStation one. My cousin had one, and I was like, this is enjoyable, this is fun, I'm having like a whole experience as if I've left my house. I can imagine people getting in the trap of using that and getting stuck in that and not living life and not doing life. I can very much imagine. Everything we have in this Western world is at our fingertips, right? We can call for food to come to our house. We can call for groceries to come to our house. We can not call, text, right? Go on the apps. Everything is on the app. You do not have to leave your house. And what does that mean for us as people who experience the world with each other and learn with each other from each other? I mean, the greatness of using AI could be we don't have to work anymore because it's doing all the jobs for us, right? Imagine that, though, the power that it's using and the adverse reaction of that. But let's imagine a world where we don't have to use AI for that, and we can use and we can use ourselves to create art, to just be, to just experience, but it will never be that. The world will never be that, because at the end of the day, AI is made not for the greater good, because if it was made for the greater good, they would have considered many other options and they would focus on only the things where it absolutely is needed. No, it's being created for profit, for gains. What fun is there in creating videos that don't exist? How scary is it that now a CCTV video can be used as if it's real with Sora? You look at it and you can't tell the difference. So now it means that when we're looking at videos, we don't even know whether it's real or not. What does that mean for victims? What does that mean for people who haven't committed a crime being said that they have committed a crime? We cannot even trust that anymore. You can't tell the difference. There are many people who are like, oh no, I can tell the difference. The eye is moving this way, the mouth is... You can't tell the difference, guys. Stop lying to ourselves. And we really need to wake up so that we can move. Like, we need to be in control in this situation. I watched an amazing podcast with Mo Gaudat. I hope I'm saying his name right. And he was talking about AI can be used for good, but we need to be thinking about who is leading this. Right? Because if it's people with bad intentions, they only are moved by money and greed, then it's not going to be used in the best way. It needs to be people who want to use it well. He even spoken about AI politicians. Again, it has to be unbiased for the greater good. And some countries are already doing that. In Albania, they're doing that. I think... what did I read this morning? I don't know if it was Abu Dhabi, but there was a different country as well that's already doing that. Because I personally, this is going to sound so crazy and outlandish, but I really think Sam Altman and some of those other tech bros, they really feel like Thanos. It's really one of those things. They don't care. They just snap and reset, restart. They don't care how what they are doing will affect people's livelihoods. Many people may lose jobs because AI can do their jobs, and they don't have the capacity to find something else. They don't know something else. Imagine you've done something for 20 years. This is what you've known. This is your security. And then you're being told, oh, it's going to be done by AI. You're made redundant now. Some people are so stuck in their ways that they are not going to allow themselves to learn something new, or they will be finding it so hard to learn something new and start over. This is the level of shakiness. And I know as years go, things always change, jobs change. We've got the Industrial Revolution, the agricultural before the industrial. There are all these different revolutions that do happen because technology advances, right? I'm not saying we shouldn't have technological advances. That's just how we move as people. We get ideas, we create these ideas, and they keep expanding. But it feels really sneaky the way they're doing it, because there's no rules and regulations right now. People are not really aware. It's only the ones that, like, I feel like I'm the only one in my circle that's so aware, and people think that I'm crazy because I'm saying this, that, and the other, that I'm talking about how we're going to be using glasses soon as opposed to phones, and people are not they think I'm chatting shit. Yeah, so I say all of that to say this: let's go into having more of a human experience again. Like, the goodness of this, if there is any, which there are definitely points, I can't be acting like this is absolutely a no-go, is we get to live the human experience that we have lost, the connection that we have lost, that to the point where when we are in a room with other people, we're now focused on our phone, we're not really in the space. Like, and be more spiritually connected. Tap into our creativity, tap into our intuition. Trust me, so many great things can happen out of that. I left my job 2 weeks ago and it feels great. It feels great, and I know I'll find something that aligns with me, that is me led by me and my intuition. And also I realized that my job can be done by AI. It is being done by AI, and a lot of my colleagues don't even notice this. I used to be a recruiter, and I look at that, and I used an AI recruiter actually to look to see if I could find another job, but it was doing my job better than most people, and I was probably doing my job in some days where I felt annoyed, tired, exhausted. So like, an AI recruiter can call, email, text, do all of these things all at once. It's so advanced to the point where it does all of these, like, it can contact above 600. This is, I mean, I'm sure it's a lot more. Let's say it's above 600 people in an hour. I'm sure it's even more than that. It feels like it's probably unlimited. That is the reach that this thing has. So anyways, guys, let's look into ourselves, find ourselves again. Let's use that as the opportunity. And yeah, thank you for listening.